Sorry, I forgot your name.
Muthu.
Hi, Muthu.
Yeah, we will be starting it soon in a bit.
Sure. I can understand. We'll wait for a couple of minutes. Yeah,
you can give a quick intro about GrowMe with Paji, and then we can manage that.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, we have a nice presentation.
Yeah, we have a good amount of participants coming up today. So.
Hello, Mr. Upaji. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Kumar?
Good. Thanks for your presentation today. A lot of people will be joining.
We are very excited. We're very excited with the number. Yeah.
No problem.
Hello, Upaji. Welcome to SFB ATM, this webinar, and welcome, Susan. This is Arul, treasurer from SFB ATM. I welcome everyone. The session is in recording, and the YouTube live is going on. And,
you have YouTube live?
Yeah, right now we have enabled.
Wow.
But we encourage everyone to join there. So we have registered about 130 plus people.
For interactive, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We are very excited and we are very looking forward to interact with your team members, with your group members.
Sure. So we are going to start with our one stage song, and then we will go from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Arul, are you starting the anthem song?
Yes. Once again.
Yeah, let's give a couple of minutes. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to start the meeting now with the Tamil Thai Valtu.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு திரை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Okay. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar, wonderfully created by GrowMe, Mr. Apaji from GrowMe, and also joining Susan, and will be introduced by Apaji. Let me hand this over to our president, Mr. Kumar, to start this session.
Thank you, Arul, and thank you, Mr. Apaji, for being a great sponsor for BATM. So being a sponsor and as well as you're doing great the young generation community to help and mentor and get into the great college. I think we have been watching your students are getting to the top colleges. I think you have a lot of preparation and students need to prepare to get on the college. I think you will be a great mentor and your team is providing a lot of support. Really appreciated. Thank you for doing this webinar today. Back to you, Apaji. Here my team is Muthu, Secretary, and Arul, Treasurer. I think other is Rajesh, I think is on.
Yeah, Rajesh is there and other team members.
Yeah, Rajesh. Okay, so back to you, Paji.
Great. Thank you very much, BATM team. And I have met most of you, but if not, definitely will be meeting you in person soon. Such a great organization, and we are very excited to be with your team and your group and your organization. So I have with me Susan Chang. Susan is one of our core team members at GrowMe, and she lives in LA, and she is a career and counselor for both career coaching as well as career development at Chapman University. Most of you might be knowing Chapman University, one of the top universities there in LA. So she is going to join along with me in this webinar. Susan, you want to say hi to the team?
Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here with you today.
All right. So let's get started. Let me start sharing my screen.
Welcome, Susan.
So you guys can see my screen?
Yes, we can see. Yeah.
Okay, let me put it in slideshow so that all right. So we are going to talk about college preparation for high school students. Okay. So GrowMe is a college readiness platform. And I will explain why we call it as a platform. So what we do here at GrowMe is help high school students get into top universities in the US. That's it. That is our core objective. That is our goal. That is our vision. So let's go into a little bit details about our journey. So I want to address why there is a need for companies like GrowMe in the current college ecosystem in the US. The fundamental missing piece I would call in the current high school ecosystem is lack of enough college counselors. The number of counselors available out there is way less than the recommended ratio of the US government's recommendation. The number is 150 or 200:1, but in reality, the current situation is around counselors are around 500 is to 500 students. There is only one counselor, and in some densely populated areas, like Bay Area, the ratio even goes as high as 1,000 students have only one counselor. It's not uncommon that there are many high school students who never see a college counselor in their high school period. And the process of preparing for the college is pretty confusing, I would say, because the colleges here just don't look for your transcript. They look for a holistic portfolio, what they call as well-rounded portfolio of the student that consists of multiple verticals, and they look at the student in and out. I mean, beyond your transcripts. Okay, and in order to curate certain profile for the colleges, the students have to do a lot of things. They have to go through a lot of data points. They have to do a lot of activities, and the navigation itself is very, very, very time consuming and confusing in most of the cases. Another problem to this dimension is that parents who are the fallback option for the students, most of the parents don't have the time and more importantly, the knowledge to help their kids. Most of the parents that we are talking about in this context are like Indian origin, first generation parents, and they might not have complete exposure into the high school education system in this country. And even if they do have some knowledge, time is a big concern because this process is very time consuming. And there are private counseling services outside of the schools, and which are very, very, very expensive. And as per our research, the average cost of the counseling services is ranging from anywhere from $8,000 per student all the way to $25,000 or even $30,000 per student. And these prices are beyond the reach of more than 2% of the parents. So only 2 to 3% of the parents in the country can afford these kind of services. That's where the GrowMe comes into picture. One quick call out: if you have any specific questions, please take a note of them. We'll go through this presentation, and we hope that we might cover most of the questions that you will have. But if you still have questions, we will open for a very elaborate and detailed Q&A session at the end of the presentation. Okay, so please either take down the notes or you can put the questions in the chat of this Zoom meeting. Okay, thank you. So the first discussion point that we want to highlight and discuss is, what do colleges want to see in a student? All right, so that is the first topic, and it is a most important topic to understand. What is the expectation from the college side, right? I mean, as I said, colleges here don't give admission based on your transcript, right? So that is the fundamental difference you need to understand between Indian way of admissions versus American colleges, how they look at the student. So what is the fundamental criteria for colleges before they give admission to any student? So the fundamental criteria is only one point, and I want you guys to make a big note of it. The colleges wants to make sure that the student is going to be successful in their program or not. That's only question they ask themselves before they give admission. They are more particular. They are very, very, very serious whether the student has every quality in order to be successful in their programs, right? And the reason for that is, I mean, it's a twofold reason. There is a lot of accountability on the colleges to produce finished goods for the industry. So they get lots of funds from the industry. There is a strong industry and college nexus in this country. So the quality of the students coming out of the colleges is under great scrutiny and great supervision by the industry. Industry look at what kind of students are coming out of the colleges. And that is why the colleges make sure that they produce best out of the best two students out of their campus and who are ready for the industry. That is number one reason. The second reason is it is extremely tough to survive and succeed in undergrad programs in this country. If there are any high school students, I mean, they can just make a note of this, that once you get admission into the colleges, you have to slog for 4 years in order to be successful. You have to work double than what you are working today in your high school, right? And the average dropout ratio after the first year in the top 50 colleges in the US, the average dropout ratio after the first year is nearly 20%. So nearly 20% of the students drop out because they cannot withstand the pressure, they cannot withstand the workload and survive in these colleges. So these are the two reasons why the colleges are very picky before they give admission to students. Okay, and the second point also they emphasize is your persona. They give admission to the student, not to your marks, not to your extracurriculars. Of course, they all contribute towards your persona, but they want to give admission to a student who can live up to their expectations. They want to know what kind of the student is going to be in the classroom, in the campus, in the dorm rooms. Is the student a geek or a nerd who sits in the last bench, who doesn't talk to anybody, or is the student is like most approachable, most flamboyant and ready to help others and asks questions and play a very good team member role or take up a leadership if required. They want to know everything about the student. They want to know what kind of vibe you are going to bring to the campus. I mean, do you have radical thoughts? Do you have extreme thoughts? Or do you have a strong purpose in life that you want to contribute to? And what kind of a student are you going to be in the dorm rooms? Are you a late night owl or early morning bird? Are you a fitness freak? Or you play loud music of Kanye West? They want to know everything before they give admission to you, right? So I would like to pass to Susan and see if she wants to add anything than what is said. Susan.
Thanks, Upaji. So as Upaji mentioned, they want to see who your student is as a human being and how well they'll cope with the entire college experience. And that's academically as well as how they personally deal with it, because they really want someone to graduate that's employable and that will also contribute to their communities that they live in. So that some of the best ways to kind of showcase that, as Upaji mentioned, is just really making sure your student is a holistic, kind of focusing on different things. They want to get a sense of what their values are, what causes do they care about, are they able to independently live in this environment and still succeed now that they'll be in a different expectations in college. And then how well they get along with their community, right? Their classmates, the faculty, the people that they live in with, and so forth. How will they ultimately be able to contribute to the careers that they're interested in and the communities that they live in? So really who they are as a human being beyond data points and beyond numbers also should come across in the whole college application process.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Susan. We'll move on to the next topic, career exploration. And this is very important point before the student even joins their college preparation. See, your college is your first step towards your career, right? Your college is almost to decide your careers. I mean, the type and the level of college you join almost decide the career you are going to have in the future. So it is extremely important that you have very clear idea of what you want to be, where you want to go, or at least which direction you want to go. Of course, you might not be able to pinpoint the exact direction you want to go, but at least you should have an idea of the path in a bigger picture, right? You cannot just say, hey, I'm still thinking whether I want to be a pediatrician or an artificial intelligence engineer. You cannot say that, I mean, in your 10th and 11th grades, right? So that that clarity has to be there, and I would like Susan is I think one of the most qualified people in the US who can talk about this, because she is the career and market outlook coach for Chapman University. So Susan, take it from here, please.
Sure, thanks for that. In terms of the career path, it's really important that you provide your child with some opportunities to explore different career paths. What do they like? What do they not like? Because they want to see people that have an idea, as Upaji mentioned, of what they want to do, but also it's equally important what they don't want to do. But they also want to see how they would contribute based on that student's strengths, as well as kind of that student having enough self-awareness of what they bring to the table as it relates to that profession. So it really is important that they start getting to know themselves. You know, what things do they do well at? What things do they not do so well at? And also just kind of getting a realistic preview of what different career paths look like. So it's helpful if they are interested in medicine, for example, have they actually talked to people that worked in that environment? Have they spent some time in different types of medical environments that actually gave them some exposure? Do they have a realistic kind of sense of what that career might look like, and kind of a both short-term and longer-term investment, so that they can really speak to why they really think that this is a good path for them to pursue. And equally important, are they kind of having enough of awareness of the different types of paths out there to really adequately say that this is kind of the direction they want to go to. So the more opportunity you're able to give your child to fully explore, the more they can kind of feel invested, and the more they can be connected to the career that they chose, and the better story they'll be able to tell to the colleges as to how they got to that journey. Because part of it is the storytelling, right? And their ability to connect why they chose a particular career, how it speaks to who they are, their values, their interests, their strengths, and their experiences, and how they can leverage all of that towards the path that they want to take. So if they can tell that complete story, they'll have a much better ability to communicate that in their career journey throughout the process of the college application.
Great, excellent. All right, thank you, Susan. Let's go on to the next topic. Yeah, so we know what colleges want. We know what the students have to be prepared for. So when do we start, right? And what points you want to consider, and let's even talk about Ivy Leagues. I mean, that's the most fascinating word for most of us, and let's see what it takes there, right? So when to start is a $1 million question, because I mean, we have been helping hundreds of students in the last couple of years, and we see students. I mean, we have students now joining from 7th grade to our programs, and we also see students who come to us after their 11th grade, right? So there is no thumb rule answer for this, but the earlier the better, right? If you come to us after your 11th grade, we can only do so much, right? Because we have hardly 6 months before we complete the application process. Well, I mean, because for our seniors now, we already started the applications 1 month ago, and will be done by end of November, right? So as you already realized by now, I mean, you have to curate a profile over the period of time, and the longer period of time that you are associated, that we know the student, we can build a stronger profile. It is as simple as that. But is 6th grade too early, or 10th grade too late? We say generally, I mean, 8th or 9th grade is when you can start with us, and we have programs. Created for what the students right from 7th grade onwards. But if you can come to us at 9th at the earliest, we have 9th, 10th, and 11th, 3 years, very good time to understand the student and manifest his or her ideas, and build an action plan around that and execute it, so that the student has every ingredient touched towards that profile creation. Right, and we know what excites the students. We will know what pulls down the student. We know if the student has that fire in that belly or not. If we know if the student has a go-getter attitude, or can we leave the student by himself or herself and count on them to deliver a project. So that is what is required for us to to be able to write top level of essays, top quality essays, and a profile. So 9th grade is optimal, 10th grade is okay, 11th grade and 12th grade it is going to get rushed, right? So just take that answer with a pinch of salt. I mean 7th grade, we are also welcoming students. We have students also from 7th grade. Okay, what points to consider before you start your planning? As we just discussed, having a clarity, or at least having a lineation towards one or two career paths is very, very, very important. And if you don't have that, and if you still are figuring out, that's absolutely fine. We will use our assignments and exercises to drill down into your thought process, to manifest your high level aspirations, and bring them towards one or two career path choices. So but for that to happen, you have to join us earlier than later, right? Now let's talk about Ivy Leagues, right? I mean, when I say Ivy Leagues here, we meant actually the top schools, top 50 schools, let us say, right? What the top 50 schools require, I mean, are look in a student. So we just discussed what the colleges look in a student before they give admission. But what these top 50 schools look is beyond that. They want self-starters and self-motivators and top achievers into their campuses. So they want a student who can just be himself or herself and complete the course curriculum by themselves, right? So we were talking to one of the professors from MIT, and he said that the question they ask when they're giving admission to the student is, if the whole faculty, in the particular department, computer science or electrical or mechanical, whichever department, if the whole faculty goes on sabbatical for 1 year, what do these students do? That's the question they ask when they're before they give admission into MIT and Stanford's. If they think that, okay, this student can use the resources from the library, from the laboratories, and he can collaborate with other students or even senior students to get a project done or to publish a paper. If that answer is yes, then they'll give an admission to that student, right? And if they think the student has still straight A's and the student is a valedictorian in their school, and the student did every extracurricular activity out there, but if the student requires a mentorship, if the student needs hand holding, he will not get admission into that colleges, right? So that is the level at which Ivy Leagues look at. And we do a lot of special programs, special projects in order for the students whom we identify good candidates for these top schools. We make them hands dirty. We give them live projects. We make them do live demonstrations of the projects, right? So the preparation for the Ivy Leagues is at a different level, and we have been doing that successfully over the couple of years. Susan, you want to add anything?
I would just emphasize getting your child involved in the process is really important, because they need to be able to, it's a lot of work preparing for college. So they have to have that motivation, intrinsic motivation. So you want them to be invested in, in terms of really researching colleges they're really interested in, researching fields, researching kind of activities they want to get involved in, and so forth. Because the more passionate they are about the process, the more they're going to be invested in. So I definitely would say get your child as invested as possible in terms of letting them kind of guide where they want to go and why they would like to go to a specific college. So it's not just a name that they're trying to, go to like MIT because it's a good college. They should personalize it as to why they feel like they want to go there. They'll get a lot more out of it, and they'll be much more motivated to invest in that if they have that.
Absolutely. And very well summarized, Susan. Why is what they care, right? Every student might say, hey, I want to go to MIT, I want to go to Cornell, I want to go to Yale, or I want to go to Berkeley. But why do you want to go there is the most important question to answer, right? And as Susan rightly said, the more familiar as you get yourself with their requirements, with their faculty, with their projects, with their lab activities, with their research activities, and how you can get connected to them. How inspired are you? How motivated are you? I mean, to get there, and what kind of fire you have to live up to their expectations. That needs to be communicated in your essays. That's what these Ivy Leagues would say, right? Excellent. Let's move on. Yes, I mean, this is a very, very, very important point for everybody to make a note of, right? The competition is getting tougher and tougher and tougher every year. Because very simple reason, I mean, the number of high school students is increasing, but the number of seats in the colleges is not. That's number one, right? Just as an example, this year, I mean, UC Berkeley received around 130,000 applications for their undergrad, and they have less than 4,000 or 5,000 seats all over the campus, right? 130,000 applications they received, right? So it is almost practically impossible, almost becoming a random hit in some cases, right? So that's how tough the competition is, especially for the UC systems that we saw in the last year because of multiple reasons. One, they made the SAT and other standardized tests as optional, which kind of encouraged more and more students to apply. And the second reason is there were a lot of students who were holding on to college applications the previous year because of the COVID. So I mean, they all applied this year. So that also pumped up the number of applications. And one more important factor that everybody has to keep an eye on, the number of international students coming for undergrad to US. This number is constantly on the rise, and this number dramatically increased this year with nearly 14% increase in the number of students coming just from India. I mean, when it comes to China or even other Asian countries, the number could go up even higher. But the number of international students competing for the undergrad seats in the US is increasing. And guess what? Who does the colleges prefer, right? The colleges definitely prefer international students because of two reasons. Number one, they want wide variety of composition of students in their campus, number one. And number two, international students bring big money, no doubt about it. They pay out of state fees and they bring a lot of money into the colleges. Of course, colleges definitely would like to have as many international students as possible, right? So you have to keep in mind that the competition is getting tougher and tougher every year as we move forward. You want to add anything on top of that, Susan? Are you good?
Yep, I'm good.
Awesome. All right. And this is, I'm going back to the point that we mentioned about getting your hands dirty, right? And I touched upon this topic for the top 50 schools. I mean, what they prefer, but we have been noticing that doing projects that we are providing the students and doing internships that we are providing the students is helping them significantly, right? I mean, you can take as many Python classes or as many C++ classes or Java classes, but after doing a couple of projects, your confidence levels are at a different altitude altogether. You might study about IoT, or you might study about drones, or watch as many videos about drones, but once you do a project to build a drone to perform an activity, or once you build an IoT based system at your school or at your home, you are in a different league, your perspective changes, and you talk and you present in a different way, right? This is what we have seen for the top colleges, especially the students who went to Cornell, who went to MIT, who went to Georgia Tech, who went to Purdue, who went to University of Toronto through us. They all have done these projects, and we insist on this, and we are coming up with an offering called as, what we call it as, Geek Labs. I mean, this is just a name of an activity that we are doing, add on to GrowMe, where we are providing students with the data sets and then GitHub projects, we are creating this collaboration platform among our students who are interested in doing hackathons, who are interested in doing coding camps or robo raves. So we are encouraging the students to be part of this, contribute towards this, and we are our students are providing very practical and very result oriented, industry applicable Python trainings and app development classes, right? So we want to highlight this because of two reasons: the requirement of this, not only just for computer science students, even for environmental science students, even for business oriented students. We are giving them projects and making them deliver and show us real results and make us real presentations, so that they can highlight this in their essays. They can highlight this in their resumes, and if they are called for interviews, these are the experiences, these are the live experiences that make them successful to crack through the interviews compared to their competitions, right? So get your hands dirty. That's what we call as to all our students, right? I would like to stop there and see, Susan, you want to add anything on top of that, please?
I would just say, just kind of underscore the value of projects and internships. As Upaji mentioned, it really provides real world experience that colleges and ultimately employers actually want to see. It also builds really critical skill sets that the student can talk to. And a lot of times it's the soft skills too, that they can provide examples of, that colleges want to hear about. You know, how do they work with other people? How do they develop their critical thinking? How do they problem solve? Some of these key skills that colleges look for, and these give them great examples to be able to highlight how they've been able to work through those skill sets. It also really kind of gives them a sense of what it's like to do these types of jobs. And so you can kind of really hone in on what the student likes and doesn't like from, the project that they were involved in, and what they might be better at and what areas they might want to work more on. So there's a lot of great experiences and valuable lessons to be gained there that they can really highlight when they talk to colleges in their essays and through their interviews as well.
Awesome. Yeah, great insights, Susan. Thank you. Okay, we want to get into a little bit nitty-gritty here. One common topic that we always get, we always get at least 4 or 5 calls on an average day, is about AP courses and extracurriculars, right? So we thought it might appeal to most of the parents and students out there if we can talk about this topic, right? So let's talk about AP courses, right? You have to understand that when it comes to AP and extracurriculars, it's the quantity that matters, not the quality. Sorry, I take it back. It's the quality that matters, not the quantity, right? So the number of AP courses that you do doesn't matter, but what you did in those particular AP courses matter. Same with extracurriculars. We get typical questions we get is, hey, my son is doing 3 extracurriculars. Do you think that is enough? Right? Nobody really cares about how many extracurriculars you do, but they care about what you learn from it, what it means to you, right? That's what they care, right? Going back to the AP courses, the same conception that minimum number of AP courses you should take is 4, because all my friends took 5 or 6, right? So let us understand how the colleges look at AP courses, right? So first of all, let us understand the definition of AP courses. So when you take an AP course, what you are telling them is, hey, I am very good at this particular subject, and I am stretching myself to get additional scores or to deliver additional results in that particular subject. That's what you're telling the college, right? So that's how the colleges look at also. If you are taking AP Calc AB, their understanding is that you are very good at calculus, and that is why you are opting for the AP version of calculus. But if you have taken AP Calc AB and you got only B minus there, it doesn't make sense, because you are telling that you are good at calculus and you are stretching yourself to produce extra and additional results in that particular subject, but you got only B or B minus. That means you don't know what you are good at, or you are not paying attention to the subject where you are good at. That's how the colleges look at, right? And the other one is, if you are taking 5 different AP courses and getting C or B minus in all of them, that means they easily understand that, okay, you are taking AP courses just to fill up the number, but you are not good at any of them, right? We have seen practically students who take only one AP course and got A plus or A in that particular subject have gotten into good schools and have gotten great results compared to students who have taken more AP courses but didn't get top grades in any one of them. Similar comment applies to extracurriculars as well, right? Extracurriculars are not meant to fill in the check boxes. Extracurriculars speak about your persona. Extracurricular speak about your mindset. Extracurriculars speak about your stamina. Extracurriculars speak about your passion and compassion, right? So identify those extracurriculars and make it meaningful. If you did an extracurricular, you should be able to talk about, you should be able to write a 650-word essay about it. It should mean something to you. It should be a purpose in your life, or it should be something that gives you happiness, or it is a political or a social cause that you are strongly associated with. It is not just for like filling 40 hours. Hey, my kid has only 20 hours. Can you help me in getting another 20 hours? Yes, of course we can get you 24. But what does your kid learning there? What does it mean to him or her? That is what you need to understand. You need to break out of that myth and understand the reality and the truth behind it. Susan, you want to add anything on top of that, please?
No, I think that you said it really well.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Right. So tips and tricks. I would like Susan to start because she is on the other side of the coin. She's on the admissions and also on the career path selection. So Susan, what tips would you give to a high school student out there?
Yeah, I mean, the college experience can vary a lot in terms of the school and the location and the size, all of those things. So it's really helpful to kind of be able to hone in on what type of personality that student has, how would they do in those different types of environments. So the more you can kind of give them a sense of what it's like to go to a large university versus a smaller university, one that's more focused on this area versus another, what the living experience might be to live on that campus, the better sense that they can kind of really integrate how well they would do and how they would cope with that experience and what they would get out of it. So definitely get them involved in really researching out different options so they can really understand what it would be like to be there, what types of activities might be of interest to them, clubs they might be wanting to get involved with, what would that peer experience look like? Because they want to see how this person is going to get along with, not just the academic piece, but what kinds of things do they want to get involved with in campus? Do they want to be involved in this club versus the other club, this research project versus another? What types of employment might they want to have on campus and things like that, or volunteer work that they want to get involved with? So you want to give them kind of a sense of what that experience would look like. What challenges could they foresee in that type of environment for them, right? Because that's really good to be able to anticipate those things, because colleges want to know that, that the students are ultimately well prepared and have kind of the basically a realistic look at what it's like. In fact, a lot of colleges will scare students in the first, when they come in on orientation, and they'll say like 90% of you, might not make it through, they give students some stunning statistics because they want them to actually have a realistic idea of what, it's a very challenging transition for most people because they haven't lived in a different environment. They haven't lived with having to get along with a roommate and other types of situations, having to time manage with all of these different types of challenging. Students are bombarded with different kind of options of what they can do with their time, right? How do they schedule themselves so that they can be effective? How do they find places to study? Things like that. How do they minimize distractions? How do they navigate a culture at a university when it's especially large universities where there's so many resources, but it's difficult to know where to go for what. So they want to know that all of those things are things that the student is kind of actually thinking of and preparing and really kind of understanding that they're going to need to navigate that experience in order to be able to fully get the most out of their college experience. So the more you can kind of give them a realistic sense of that, the better that the student's going to feel prepared to also communicate with the colleges why they would be a good fit for that college.
Excellent. And that's very, very, very well articulated, Susan. From my side, right, one thing I might be repeating this one, right? If you are counting on your transcript alone to get into top colleges, please, you have to rethink your strategy, right? And the college preparation process is a self-discovery process, is a process where you evolve, out of your thought process, you evolve, out of your into your aspirations, and you discover yourself, and that is very, 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 very important. And once you discover whom you are, where you want to go to, and what fulfills you, what makes you complete as a professional and as a student, then sky is the limit, right? So in order for that, you need somebody who can motivate you, who can inspire you. And at GrowMe, we do that. We bring the best out of you. We help you to harness the true talents of you. We work with you to manifest your thoughts and come up with the right action plan so that you get the best out of yourself. Once you bring the best out of yourself, and once that best version of you is presented to the college, then 4 out of 5, or at least 3 out of 5 colleges will give you a chance to get into their campus, and then sky is the limit for you, right? So please do realize that you are on a journey of self-discovery through the college preparation, and you have to sell yourself to the college evaluators. Nobody is going to help you out there except you, in order to make an impression on the evaluator through your essays. And we handhold you. We provide the right information, right guidance, and right mentorship, on top of extracting and extrapolating your strengths and harnessing your success and also your failures. And we help you curate that. Once you are able to provide in front of to the evaluator, then your chances of standing out in the competition are much, much, much higher, right? So have clarity, get everything clarified, find a person whom you can really open up and talk about it, right? US is the country of opportunities, in the entire world, and you should be prepared, before you enter into that diaspora, into that spectrum of college and career, that you should have the preparation done. Are you ready by yourself? Do you know what you want to go? Do you know where you want to go? Those are the questions you need to ask. And these are the areas where we really, really thrive and really, really succeed. And these are the reasons why we are able to place students into top 50 colleges. We have placed around 120 students in the last couple of years into top 50 colleges. And we got students, this year we got students with 25% of our students got scholarships and honors programs. And we got our students into UC Berkeley kind of business programs, and Cornell kind of business programs. right? So you have to take one step back and understand what it takes. Where do you want to go? And that's where we, as a company and as a group of professionals, we specialize in, right? With that, I think we are coming to the end of it. You can check, you can contact us, and you can check with our team members. Our services and our results speak for our results. Our quality, speaks for our results, and we are by far the most competitive offering services in the market. You can check with any other consultant or any other counseling services out there. We are by far the most competitive ones, and our services are offered on subscription model. So we don't have to pay the whole fees upfront, but you can pay in monthly subscriptions, right? And we are also offering a special discount to BATM members. So if you happen to call our team, please do mention the code. It is GrowMe, it's GMBATM 2022. Mention that, and you can avail some significant discounts ranging from 10 to 20% depending on when you join us. Okay, so we are running this offer till end of August. And this is how you can reach us. You can go to our website, or you can send an email at hello@growme.ai. And our most common and straightforward way to reaching us is our WhatsApp. Please note down this number, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you and explain our services. Okay. Before we wrap up, I would like to first of all thanks BATM team for helping this putting together. They're so encouraged. There are nearly 67 participants out there. It's one of the biggest crowds we had, to be honest, and we are extremely encouraged. And before we open up for QA sessions, next Sunday, that is exactly 1 week from now, August 7th, we are having our yearly celebration party. We are celebrating the success of our students from this year. It is in a restaurant in Fremont. And I'm going to share the EY details with BATM team members, and I sincerely request them to pass it on to you. And so please do join us if you are in the Bay Area. If you are free at the time, please do join us and see. How our students, what our students have to say, what our parents have to say, and definitely we would love to put a face to your name, right? So we'd like to stop there. Kumar and BATM team, and once again, thank you. We are now open for Q&A session.
So did we get any questions, Arul?
No, I have posted to everyone. The chat is open. People can start asking, even directly unmute and ask question here.
All right. Yeah, you can ask directly, or you can put in the chat, whatever works for you.
Yeah, if you put it in the chat, then ask. That really helps for everybody.
Hey, Upaji, thanks for the wonderful session, Upaji. This is Rajesh. So what is the age we should start the consulting? Because I see you said 7th grade, 8th grade and all. So that too early we have to start the consulting, or like what is the process for the college and everything?
So as I said, there is no thumb rule for that. And we are having students from 7th grade right now working with us. So 7th to 9th grades, we are giving them the coaching before we start the actual preparation process. Essay writing is a coaching that we provide. Personality development is a coaching that we provide. So there are some qualities that the student has to inculcate and the student has to develop over, right? And there is a lot of preparation required for that, which we start from as early as 7th grade. But ideally, if you the college preparation would start from 9th grade onwards. So that's when the high school starts, right? So the student, if the student is with us from 9th grade onwards, it gives us enough time to explore various options, to find the interests and disinterests of the student, and come up with an action plan that helps to curate a very strong profile. The longer this is like, as I said, this is like a brewing, and a self-discovery process, right? You cannot discover yourself. You cannot identify your strengths and weaknesses in 3 months or 6 months.
So there is, yeah.
Okay, Paji. Yeah. Kumar, you want to read the few questions just there?
Yeah, there is 2 questions. The question one, you want to go, or
I can actually read them. Maybe I can read the question and I can answer it, right?
Sure.
Thank you, Tarun. How do you get research opportunities through universities at a high school student? So there is no way a student in high school can get a research opportunity at a high school. Okay, I want to be very, very, very clear that, so that your expectations are right. What high school student can do is work with a mentor or work with a coach to publish something on their own. So we are helping students with that kind of approach, or we are tied up with a couple of organizations who are doing this, who has like mentors from top universities and offering a service, right? And we are associated with them. But the expectation of high school student being able to do a research at university level, that's not practically possible. Okay. Do you have any follow-up question on that, Tarun, or did I answer your question?
Yes, you answered my question. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My kid is in India, planning to do undergrad in USA. Are you guys helping parents like me? Absolutely, Suvena. We are bringing 12 students from India to undergrad colleges here. So we are actually, contributing towards that competition that I talked about, right? Because there are a lot of students coming from India to US. This year is a huge number. And to answer your question, yes, we help students in India also to come to undergrad in US.
So there is one more question, Vijay. It's about the program cost. So what is the cost of your program?
So it depends on when the students join us, right? Because it depends on how much time we spend the student, but I cannot answer that question with one answer, because it depends on when the student joins. But roughly speaking, you count $1,000 per year. Is our rough ballpark number, plus or minus here and there. So the way we programmed our all services is, you should not be paying more than $100 a month. With $1,200 max in a year, you should be able to get all the services from us. That is how we designed the program. But it depends on when the student joins. If you come to us, after 11th grade, and if you are with us only for 6 months, we cannot curate the profile, do the applications for $600, right? So but if you join us from 9th and 10th grade onwards, the numbers are around $100 a month. That's how we do it. It's $1,000 per year. It's a ballpark number.
Yeah, thank you, Vijay. And there is a follow-up question when asked for the Indian.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When a high school student sign up with GrowMe, what is the structure of the program? How is the classes are conducted? So first of all our sessions, all our exercises, assignments, projects, seminars, webinars, everything is online, right? And it is one-on-one. It is one-on-one with the student. We never do a group session for anybody, because each student is unique. Each student's action plan is unique. Each student's activities and deliverables are unique. So we have one-on-one sessions with the students via Zoom. For seminars and webinars, it is a group activity, as you know, because all our activities go with all the students, and we bring in top achieving students to interact with our high school students. Last week we got our students from Georgia Tech who is in Google doing internship, Next month, we are getting our students from MIT who is doing, who is working on artificial intelligence and data science in MIT. So I'm going to publish those details in the next 1 or 2 weeks, and I'm going to share with BA team members.
There is one more question. Sven asked the Indian student. So I think mentioned here yearly $1,000. Is it similar to for the Indian student also working for?
No. It will be a little bit less for Indian students because of a couple of reasons. Because in India, when you join us, you won't be joining us from 9th grade onwards, right? You will be coming to us either in intermediate first year or intermediate second year, right? So it is a different cost structure for the students in India, but it is definitely less than what we charge for the students from US, because you also have to incur the cost of visas and all that stuff.
Got it. Thank you, Mr. Baji.
Okay, Maru Ramaswamy, my kid is upcoming junior. How many hours per week you need to spend? Excellent question. This is very important question. First of all, I want to say that our team is available 24/7, right? We are there in the weekends, we're there in the midnight, we're there in if you're comfortable to talk early in the morning or whenever you are free. First thing, right? Second thing, we understand that the students have schools and assignments and projects and whatnot, right? We navigate our services around their availability, right? I mean, if the students have exams, we'll catch up, we'll take a break for that week and we'll catch up the following week, right? So to answer your specific question, the average commitment for a student with us in a month is 4 to 5 hours. So it's roughly coming to 1 hour plus in a week, right? And we try to cover this 4 to 5 hours of effort depending on the working around the students structure and availability, right? And one more thing I want to call out at this point. So far we talked about how we are helping the students for college preparation, but we also help the students with your schoolwork. I mean, when I say schoolwork, we also help the students in identifying the AP courses and course selection for your next year. We help the students in identifying the right community college programs which will help their GPA, which you can do during your summer classes, summer breaks. We also help the student with any presentations or project work or essay writing in your school, right? If you are participating in any Olympiads or any other competitions, we help you with each and every activity of that, right? We are not just restricted to college preparation activities. Most of our students, especially in 7th, 8th, 9th grades, they take our help for their school work, for their school activities as well. If you need help with any subject, like say my kid needs help with algebra or AP chemistry, then we bring in our senior students to take tutoring classes for our junior students, right? This has been a very successful program because our senior students, they have been there and done it, and they know how to score higher marks or where to focus. They will give very focused tips and tricks for these junior students, and you don't have to sign up for like 2 months or 3 months program. It can be a couple of hours of quick crash course from the students that you can sign up for, right? And so I just want to call out that we also provide tutoring services through our senior students who are in completed 12th grade or who are in undergrad. So the same thing applies to your kid too. If they join us and they are with us for a couple of years and they complete and they got admission, then they can join back as a tutor, and they can give back to their junior students. They can teach whatever subjects they are confident and familiar with, and of course make some pocket money out of it. Okay, now let's go to what is the best things to be doing in your summer rising junior year? Okay, sorry, I think I missed one on the top. Is this like my kid is upcoming junior? I answered that. Maru Ramaswamy, Mala Tangirala. So is this like a college counselor service? Do you help with college apps as well? Sorry if this is covered. Yes, we are college counseling services with the technology background, right? I mean, the reason I'm highlighting that is because of the nature of projects and the internships that we are making our students do. Yes. So we cover with your college selection. We come up with short list of colleges for each and every student. We sit with the parents to finalize that. And then once we finalize that, we help with the letters of recommendation, with essay writing. And we spend 4 to 5 months on essays, because essays are the most important artifacts that goes along with your application. And yes, we help the students with the application process itself. I mean, we help the students in identifying major and minors in each and every campus. And we are also helping students with financial aid counseling. Right? I mean, are you qualified for CSS or FAFSA or merit scholarships? And we help the students with a specific application and interview process and essay writing for each of these applications. I think I answered your question, Mrs. Mala there. Okay.
Yes, you did. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Svena, to add in the above question, what are your services offered with cost details? Is it possible to give a kind of document so that we can look for? Absolutely. Please reach out to us. We'll share our catalog of services and the cost associated. And also we'll give you can pick a la carte model, or you can sign up for our package, which covers everything. We'll be able to provide you every detail in that aspect. Okay, and how does sports achievements help influence a college admissions? Very good question, Jay. So if your kid's profile has to carry a sports achievement as a criteria, then the achievement has to be very significant, right? You have to be, first of all, what sports are being recognized? Let us talk about that, right? Of course, NFL, basketball and baseball and football, of course, these are the top most popular sports in the US, and these are the most recognized by the colleges. Do you think cricket or kabaddi will be useful? Maybe not, because they don't know about cricket and kabaddi as we might think it, right? And individual sports like chess might matter, but tennis is definitely gets a lot of weightage. And the one sport which is picking up very, very fast nowadays, and we are seeing a lot of students participating, is fencing, right? So but no matter which sport you're talking about, in order to make an impact on your profile through a sport, you have to achieve some high standard results. Either you have to be in the varsity teams, or you have to be at least in the championship teams within your school or university level, right? If you just play for the sake of it, it mostly will be considered as a passionate hobby or a good time pass, but it might not make a direct impact on your admission results. I hope I answered that question, Jay. Ravichandran, do you specialize in engineering courses? Oh, thank you for asking that. No, we offer our services to all engineering, all pre-med. In fact, pre-med is our biggest strength. This year, our students got into top 20 colleges all over the country with honors programs. Our students got into Baylor. Our students got into UCLA and UW Seattle. And also we offer students into business side. Our students got into UC Berkeley Business School this time, right? And liberal arts too. And our students got into Savannah College of Arts and Design in Georgia, which is one of the toppest schools of arts and design. So we cater to all top 4 verticals: engineering, pre-med, business, and liberal arts. I hope I answered your question, Ravichandran. Niranjan, does the student get a dedicated counselor for all the sessions or the counselors? Yes, there are 2 phases in preparing this. Until the end of 11th grade, then the student will be associated to one of the counselors, and then after the 11th grade, where the college applications and essays will come, then the student might continue with the same counselor, or the student is given to another counselor, depending upon the the domain the student is going towards. For pre-med, we have one type of counselors. For Asian students, we have some other counselors, and for engineering, we have another student. So it depends on the availability and the situation at the time. But the student will have maximum 2 counselors, but most of the cases it's only 1 counselor dedicated through the journey. Okay. Suvena, sorry, what sport did you just mention? Okay, it is fencing. It is called as fencing that is getting more popular nowadays. I think that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Does Bharatanatyam, Arangetam, and credit on profile? So this is a common question I always get, right? And most of the students have given their Arangetams this year. So yes, I mean, first of all, we have to be very realistic and honest that Bharatanatyam is something which most of the college counselors and college evaluators don't understand, right? We have to be very, very honest there. If you are a ballet dancer, I mean, maybe that might bring their attention. But nowadays, because of so many of Indian students doing this and so many Arangetrams we are seeing, and the Indian dance is becoming more and more popular. Yes, there is a recognition, but is that a game-changing achievement? I don't think so, to be honest, right? I mean, if I give Arangetram and can I get into Berkeley? No, you cannot count like that, right? It might add some weightage that you have, I mean, a dedication and passion, and you put a lot of effort into that, because that is understood, that is realized. But is that significant enough to change an evaluator's mind to give you admission over some other student? I honestly don't think so. I haven't seen that yet.
Is it, Praji, just this a follow-up on this one? This is because in this country, they don't really understand the value or the dedication the kids go through, they prove their talent, right? It looks like we have to bring it to all the counselor or whoever the selection committee to watch our performance more and more. Maybe one time it will happen.
Right. So very well said. I mean, it is two factors. All right. One is lack of awareness, right? As you just mentioned, they don't know what Kuchipudi or Kathakali or Kathak and these means, right? I mean, they don't understand the value of it, or the value of the effort and time that we put into it. I mean, because they are not aware of it. Number one. Number two is where most of our students fail, that I am seeing, we are all seeing in our group, is what the student learned out of that giving Arangetram, how that experience changed the thought process and perspective and mindset of the student. That is not written, that no student writes about it, right? Student only writes about, I practiced 4 hours every week since I am 6 years old. And I went through so many hardships and that and this in order to give that Arangetram. Okay, fine. What it taught to you? How did this change you as a person, right? And how you are going to use this moving forward? That's what they look for, right? And most of the students fail to write there. That is why we emphasize on essay writing a lot, right? It is not what you did, but what it means to you is what they care, right? And I can give you, I can give you 10 examples of how these essays, play a role. But just to summarize, if your kid is putting so much effort on anything, right? We have to see what is the impact of that activity on the kid, how it helped him or her mature and become a stronger person, how that helped him or her to frame their mindset, to change their perspective of their future, or their outlook of the society. That's what we have to extract and put it in an essay. Then it makes more sense. It doesn't matter at the time, whether it is Bharatanatyam or Kathak or Kathakali or ballet dance or hip hop. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, thank you, Praji.
Right?
Upaji, before proceeding further question, someone directly asking the contact information for GrowMe. Can we display that slide and keep continuing?
Oh, yeah. Good point. I would love that. Thank you. So this is the contact information. Okay. Okay. Then somebody has to read the question for me. If I'm starting to share, then I cannot read the chat. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Let me read the next one. So does the student get a dedicated counselor for all?
Yes, I think we answered that.
I think the question is Kurunchi Meena Kannan, right?
Okay. If the kid specialized in band instrument, how do we project to add value to her essay?
So, right. So these kind of achievements will definitely add value again. And again, I want to repeat what I said about the earlier extracurriculars. What that experience means to the kid, what he or she learned from it, and how that helped him to become mature or stronger or more talented or more active and enthusiastic kid, and how they are willing to take it forward matters, right? Is this just being in a band itself, is it a game-changing activity? No, please don't count on that. It is an add-on, and it will definitely help him in writing better content into his essays and throw light into his overall portfolio, right? But the fact that he attended the band doesn't really matter. Hundreds, thousands of students do the same thing, but what he extracts out of that is the real important factor to the evaluators.
Yeah, similar question for club soccer, piano, violin, singing, and then
right. So for all these extracurriculars, right, I want to just summarize it and say repeat it one more time. If you want these extracurriculars to play a role of game changer in any admissions, then the achievements should be very high, number one, right? And if the area of the extracurriculars, if they are familiar to the American evaluators, it is better than Indian based extracurriculars. Number two, it doesn't, I'm not trivializing the effort. I'm not looking down upon the Indian based extracurriculars here, but I'm saying from an American evaluator point of view, right? But in any extracurricular activity, in any music or dance or any of the sports, what you gained out of it, what it means to you, and how it helped shape your personality is more important than how many hours you spend and how many years you worked on it. Okay, so I want to just summarize this, because this is a wide Pandora box we are opening. I mean, because these questions can come on and on and on. And if you talk to us, we'll be more than happy to customize our approach to each and every student based on your background.
Okay. There is a couple of questions about, one is, does Manabadi Telugu 5-year certification add credit on profile?
I think they do. We are actually one of the grant sponsors of Silicon Andhra, and we are working with them. So I think it does. Yes. So yeah.
Similar bilingual certification, does it add value in college admission?
So the more languages you know, you are familiar with, the better your profile looks like. Again, right? Does having Telugu or Tamil makes the same level of impact as having French or Spanish? No, because of the same reason I said, right? And is any of these game changing for a college evaluator to change their decision? No.
I think, Upaji, just want to add the bilingual certification part. What I understood, one of the thing is bilingual is like any language you learn and is add value to the credit, right? Because if you're going to the college, what level you are in the bilingual profession?
Yeah, but by the credits, by the college credit, yes, it helps. But I'm only talking about the evaluation criteria to get admissions.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. Next question: does summer jobs like lifeguarding help with the college application?
any summer job would help, right? And summer jobs are one thing which we strongly encourage. We have a huge list of internships that we work with our students throughout the US to get into these summer internships, right? And we start our summer internship planning like March or February of this year. And right now, all our students, most of our students are in summer internships, right? Summer jobs do carry a lot of weightage. Whether you teach taekwondo or whether you teach math or you teach pottery, it doesn't matter. If you make use of your summer time, it is the best. In fact, our students, most of them are in India. And guess what? We are helping them do jobs and internships in India as well. Why? Even you are on vacation, right? Our students are teaching in schools in India. Our students are doing volunteer organizations in hospitals in India. Our students are joining some non-profit organizations in India. And any certificate from or any letter of recommendation for that you get from an out of country, it's a 10 times more weightage than you're getting here, because you're traveling there for vacation and you're still using the time, right? And our student, just as an example, he is into environmental science. He went to a small remote village in South India, and he saw something extraordinary there, like the whole fire, the crop is put on fire after the harvest. He really freaked out. He thought it's an accident, right? But it is a natural phenomena that they do. It's a natural practice they do. They burn the crops after the harvest is done in India. The paddy crops and especially the sugarcane crops, right? So that gave him an idea of like the different perspective on environmental science. He was born and brought up here. He thinks that fire is always the danger, right? Especially with all the wildfires going on here. I don't blame him. But while going there, he looked at fire in a different way, and he has a totally different understanding of how the environment plays a role in whatever social and communal practices you do, right? And he wrote in a blog and he wrote an essay on that, and those kind of essays stand out in the competition, right? So we use every opportunity of the student through our journey, whether you are traveling, whether you are on vacation. We make the student to identify a purpose in your life and maintain a journal or a blog as you go through. These kind of experiences shape up who you are, and so this is what I meant when I was talking about discovering yourself, exploring yourself. Putting a different mindset on how to sell yourself, right? So all these things matter. All these things do cover into your overall portfolio. Okay. I hope I answered that question. I got carried away a little bit. Sorry.
Sure, it does. So the next one is, if kids want to go into medical field, what kind of service hours we need to look for? Are there any camps available for volunteering?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So again. When you say what kind of service hours, right? And I want to just mention, don't run behind numbers, okay? And sorry if I am being blunt there, but I have to be very practical here. So for students aiming for pre-med, we have a huge list of internships, and we work with the students to get into those. Also, what we do is we work with the student to approach their dentists or their primary care physicians or labs or any hospitals in their geography. We work with them to come up with a resume and a letter of intent to be produced in front of these organizations and face their interviews or selection process to get a job in there, right? It is case by case. If you want to get into biomed, then your approach will be different. The internships will be different compared to if you want to become a neuroscientist, right? So we do help with all the pre-medical students, but it is customized again depending on which direction you want to go within the pre-med field.
Sure. Okay. I'm skipping this Carnatic singing. It's the same like other singing and violin class, etc.
Right.
The next one is, does college know that the student has availed private counseling for college preparation, and does it have an impact in the selection process?
No, they don't. They don't, and it has no impact. They really don't care.
Yeah, I think those are all the questions we have, Ajay.
But I think Apache, that question, the Carnatic singing, so that specific to singing, is it impact?
So again, right? I'm want to repeat the same thing. If your extracurricular want to make an impact on the decision, it has to be at a very, very, very highest level of achievement. Either you should be getting into America Got Talent, or you should be getting into one of these competitions, or you should have a YouTube channel and you have 10,000, 15,000 followers. Those kind of, you should have a profile to reckon, right? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. You say, I have been singing, I mean, for 10 years and nobody knows about it. It doesn't matter, right? So in order for any extracurricular to make a difference in the college decision, it has to be at certain level. And again, if that talent is a familiar talent to them, right? I mean, familiar talent means, I mean, choir singing or country singing or hip hop singing or rap singing or their familiarity with singing is different, right? Or opera singing, right? They know about all this. Have they heard about Carnatic, Hindustani? Of course, they might have heard about it, but do they have the same level of understanding and respect and awareness of it, about them? Maybe not, right? So you have to be, the same comment applies to everything.
I think, thank you, Baji. The reason I emphasize that one, I know this, a lot of people think is as participate, yeah, getting certificate, is it going to help? Yeah, thing is that the college counselor, what I understood was, they look for what is the impact or the leadership level you achieved in that area, differentiate other students, right? So that's why I want really
exactly. So I'll give you one example, guys, before we wrap up, right? We have a student who is an average singer. She is not the toppest of the talent, right? I mean, she has not given any big performances. I mean, she has not participated in August 15th Independence Day India parade and singing. She's not that. She's a good singer, reasonably good singer, and practices singing for 4 or 5 years. Guess where she gave most of the performances? She gave most of the performances in the old age homes. She sang to these people in the old age homes every Sunday, right? They don't know anything about this Carnatic singing. They never heard about this Carnatic singing, right? But they just fell in love with her singing. They started looking up as this is one of the things that actually rejuvenates them, that it is giving them some peace. They're coming out of depression by her singing, right? And they got a huge recommendation letter from almost 10 of the inmates from that old age homes, and the director of that old age home gave her a big certification of appreciation for helping the singing and making an impact into these old age homes and the people living there. Guess who is going to get more weightage about if this girl applies versus another girl who has been practicing for 10 years and gave 20 different performances within the Indian community? Who gets more preference? The first girl, obviously, right? So it is, and it doesn't mean all the time you have to go to old age homes or these, schools with children of special needs. It all matters down to how you are, treating this particular experience, what it means to you, how you want to help others, or how it is helping you. That is the story we are going to tell. Right?
In this case, I think so the impact on thing is how you write a story, right? Because the senior center or the old the homes,
yeah.
So you're going to impacting that one. That really brings a lot of value when they look at it, right? How you
exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Upaji.
Hey, Upaji, sorry to interrupt. Hey, this is Nanda. Hey, I actually landed on this webinar from one of my friend actually forwarded this email. After I am here, like I understand like this is for high school students and then you guys are helping them. But this is not the right forum. I know, I apologize, but then I just want to ask if you guys help on people like me. Like I am a working person here. I am like I have done my bachelor's in India. I am working here on a visa, and I am looking for joining masters online, like some kind of a courses here, right? Like, do you guys provide any help to people like us, like who's actually working here and then looking for online courses, doing masters and stuff?
Absolutely. Please do reach out. We help students who have completed bachelor's in India to come here for doing MS. We do that. But I mean, definitely, I can definitely talk to you and help you out. Please reach out to us either in any one of these channels.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So before wrapping up, anything else? I want to say a couple of things. Finishing it. Thank you for BAT members, and thank you GrowMe team, and really helped. I think you took more time to emphasize and answer very valuable questions. I think so many people might wanted to ask. Sometimes they don't ask, but it's, others ask. It helps to understand. Even I understood a lot of things today. It's really very valuable. One thing is that this seminar or the sponsor program, we bring it because GrowMe is one of the platinum sponsor, and please support them and get benefited. Same time, this our organization also have a membership. I think we send it to even member, non-member, everybody. I think I would really encourage you. Being a member, you will get notified first come, first service. If it is space is limited. And for us, I think recently we did for our Father's Day promotion, the life member is a family, 2 member, $180. You could reach out, and there we do have your email. We will also send you information. If any question on BATM, you can reach out us. Is info@sbatm.org. Thank you again. Appreciated. Thank you, Arul and Muthu, Rajesh, and EC 2222 team.
And Kumar, before we're going to wrap up, because our next event is there, so just want to inform to the members and everyone. So that's why before people are leaving. So next is like a volleyball event we are planning team. So yeah, members, so please join that one. We're going to send out the flyers soon. So yeah, volleyball and throwball event is there, a live event. Okay.
Yeah, that's
so please join and support us.
In Newark, Ash Park. I think yeah, stay tuned. So you will get it. And
actually, there is one question which I think there is one. Getting volunteer hours in temple is same as volunteer hours in food pantry, which is good. It's the same. It's all the same. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts definitely help. Okay, Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts are very, very, very useful. Yeah, just I skipped that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, even if
sure. No problem.
They want to ask the question, they can send it to us.
Absolutely. Yeah,
definitely. Thank you again. Okay. So if you want to say a few minutes before wrap up, Kripaji.
Absolutely. Once again, big thanks to BATM team. We look forward for a long-term association with your organization, and we are very encouraged with the response that we got. Right, once again, before we wrap up, next Sunday is our yearly celebration. Right, so I'm going to send the invite. Please forward to all the group members who have joined here, and we look forward to see you there. And definitely, we look forward to have more this kind of sessions and interactions moving forward. Thank you very much.
Is there any fee?
Thank you, Baji.
Sorry. What is
the event invite? It's I think as a student is going to share and parents is going to information that is high valuable. But I'm asking, is there any fee associated?
No. It is our celebration party. Come on, you come and join us and have food and have fun. Yes.
Thank you. But
no. It is absolutely free. And it is our celebration, so please do join our celebration.
Sure, Baji.
communicative? How many people are there? How many families are joining?
I'm going to send you the RSVP link. So you can just forward it to them so that we capture that.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank
guys.
you.
Nice talking to you, all of you. Have a good evening. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan and Upaji.
Thank you, Susan.